Hello everyone. Quick recap on Canopy Growth. They reported earnings. They must have said something ugly. I hear that they missed a whole bunch of stuff. So the stock is falling 20%, and it's not a surprise. So I did a few videos before, and they were spot on. So the technicals have prevailed. I'm not an expert at their fundamentals. I know they missed something, and the story's getting worse and worse. The last video I did, price was somewhere around here, and I said, if somebody watched my video, which I did around here, right at the bottom, and they caught it. They caught a huge rally, and it's time to book. It wasn't the exact top from the video because it topped and finished the target that I had drawn for it. So the target was perfect, almost to the penny, and then now it's back. So do I panic out? So if I didn't sell, this is not a place to panic out, because this whole zone here is supportive, because this is the neckline from which they sprang. So if you look at it, I bet you if I do a Fibonacci, I'm not a Fibonacci, I don't trade based on Fibonacci, but I do consult it just because machines do. And if you look at it, the green line right in the middle is the 50%. So people love that. Right here is the 50% of the whole extension. So if you want to give back half the rally, they just did. It's normal to do that without changing much. So you can say that the bulls are still in charge even though it's down 20% on a day, but you can argue against it from the fundamentals. So speaking from the chart, it's not time to panic out of it. It's time to start managing your position. So if somebody's nervous and they're still green, they might want to buy some puts to cover from the oh shit moment for the next few days. So we don't know how many people are going to have to. They have 3 days to do whatever they need if they borrowed against it or something. So there might be some forced selling. I'm not sure. But what I do know is that up here, if somebody didn't book, they were just pure hope and probably smoking too much of it, because it should have been a sell or book or lock or trim or hedge or something, or sell calls against it, because regardless of how much you love the company, you should manage the risk. Even if I'm holding it for the super long term, I should trade it along the way. How I could sell covered calls, I can do many things, but I shouldn't just hope. If I bought it for a lottery ticket, I made a mistake. If I bought it here and I didn't get out here, I made a mistake. It didn't cost me much. If I bought it here and I didn't get out here, I made a mistake. It cost me a little bit profit, but I'm still green. If I bought it here, hoping it's going to go there, I made a big mistake. So these are the different ways of looking at it. The prior video point was, I think I said once it gets to this level, because there was an open gap on the left, right there, I said it would hit a lot of resistance, and also it was a point of control for whatever time frame I was looking at back then. I don't think it was this time frame for sure. So this is the daily, and if you zoom in, so on the dailies, clearer that there was a ledge here, accident scene, so they failed again. Not a big deal. Doesn't change anything. Higher lows, the trend is still with the bulls, and you just need to manage your risk. And up here, the point of the other video was, I don't start longs. Down here, if I want to start longs, it's okay. If I'm selling puts or put spreads, it's even better because I can do it down here and hide below support. So there is support where it's at. There is support right here at 1580-ish. This candle is kind of interesting for me, so 1630. There's definite support down here, which is 14 and change. Clearly, this was the prior bounce, but usually I say overshoots. And if I remember correctly, this was an interesting place where I put the last video where I said the breakout is coming. Well, 120, no, 30. Yeah, this one right there, 15 minutes, and then I'll go back to it. So it was a squeeze right there, and it played out. I had two scenarios for it and then over-delivered. Okay, so I'm going to delete these because we're done with that. So pick your spots. Don't fall in love with the stock. And if you do love it, at least trade some and leave some for the long term. But I got to tell you, I don't know the exact numbers, but it seems like they missed by a lot. So what the hell is management doing? So the interesting thing is, what does Constellation say or do about it? Because they invested $4.5 billion, so they were, they're pot invested. Pot committed, I should say. So what do they do now? What do they say now? Maybe they say, we've given up, let's write it off. Then that will be another whiff down on the whole segment. Is everybody else moving with it? I even need to check. One day. Not so well, 9% down in ACV, and that's another wild one. How about Cronos? So okay, so the whole sector now is suffering. Since I'm here, we'll look at the Cronos. Reset. So Cronos is also falling into a pivot zone. So this is about half of this rally, right here somewhere. This candle is interesting. So the level they ended up here is interesting. So I wouldn't panic out of Cronos into this zone. And this is another level of support. All right, that was bonus. Later, bye.